So let's start with our own experience as flyers, because all of us have flown airlines over many years. Some of you as consultants probably felt like you had a piece of the action of an airline for all the time you flew. I'd like to get a sense of your own experience, and let's do this in sort of quick fire fashion using chat, and just find a few words that for you characterize your experience with airlines in general. Pop it into the chat, and we will look at them together and see what we've had. Exhausting, regimented, uncomfortable. Monica loves flying, aggravating, delayed, inefficient, uncommunicative. We're getting depressed. They nickel and dime us. It's stressful. It's, wait a minute, what is that? Nope. Wait, Sam, what's yours? No, what was that? Wait, Sam, what is yours? No pen. What is that? I can't read that. Nope.
Sorry, was typing in chat. Just means I don't ever want to fly.
I don't ever want to fly. Okay, there's an even stronger comment. Look forward to new experiences, but Singapore is great. We don't have to spend a lot of time doing a big analysis of this, because I'm looking down the list and almost all of them are pejorative or negative experiences: cramped, frustrating, exhausted, regimented, etc., with a couple of exceptions. Monica loves flying. And others, there was a comment about, in the future, maybe it'll be better, and a hint that Singapore Air may be out of the ordinary for this group. So right away we say we're looking at an industry in which most of us as customers don't experience it in very positive ways. And when we look at Singapore Air and we see some of the positives, we need to figure out why is it that they were able to do it. So here are my images, I guess, to sort of capture what this experience is like. I hate to remind ourselves of this awful experience of this doctor being pulled off a plane by the United folks, but that image, caught the attention of everyone, because everyone was just stunned, and in the sense that this really could have happened. The airline double booked, and then the airline's pulling him off, literally, etc. So that's one horrible image. The other one, I think I have one more here, which is an image you may not be as familiar with because you don't check bags. But if you were to have checked bags, you might have lost those bags, and therefore you learned it and you didn't check bags. But airlines often ruin people's holidays if the luggage didn't arrive with them. So a very quick sense that we're looking at an industry that, from a customer standpoint, it doesn't usually lead to a very positive evaluation. Let's look at the overall industry and see why this might be the case. So let's think about the airline industry as a whole. And in your strategy courses, you might have spent an entire class doing a full analysis of an industry. Here we're going to do it in a minute's time. Again, I'd like you to just find a few words on chat to characterize what is the sort of essence, or the characteristics, I guess is my question, of the airline industry. What are the characteristics of the airline industry? Let's see what you come up with here. Type in your thoughts. So we've got highly competitive, low margin, high cost, tiny margin, yep. Cost competitive, huge, thin margins, yep, low margins, consolidated, huge costs, fragmented, complex. So you see, if you had been in your strategy course, it would have taken an hour to do this. It took us less than a minute, and themes are here. We could kind of analyze each one of these elements, but it adds up to, race to the bottom, it adds up to something that doesn't appear to be a race to the bottom. Kendall, means what? In terms of then, what does this all add up to?
Just like constantly cutting costs and the impact on the customers being very apparent. Like the seats get smaller, you get less and less leg room as they're trying to increase margins. Yeah, and in recent years they have increased margins. They've done well after many years of not being profitable. Lots of things can go wrong. Cyclical, Ishan, what's the cyclical feature here?
So the industry itself is cyclical in terms of, after say 9/11, the industry was down for a while. Then it came back, and then, financial crisis happened, went back down, and then it fixed itself. And now during coronavirus, it's once again back down. So it's pretty unpredictable in terms of understanding when it's going to do well, when it's not going to do well. And so investors don't like that. That's
Ishan, would you say that's true of any industry?
no.
Cyclical, or are you giving airlines sort of extra, weight on that?
Yeah, I think airlines extra weight just because in any other industry, like they could be cyclical, but recovery time is a lot less in terms of when the industry can come back. But in airlines, it takes a lot of time just because it is so customer dependent. And then you also have, as Basil said, like regulatory dependency, right? So there could be something that happens with one airline and then all the airlines could get affected.
So if I recall, Monica, you did some work in Nepal for a number of years.
Yeah,
So
that is correct.
I wanted to sort of shift us to thinking about those who flew Singapore Airlines. Did you get to fly Singapore Airlines yourself?
I did fly Singapore Airlines once. For work, we used to fly Qatar Airlines, which is a personal preference of mine compared to Singapore, but Singapore was great as well.
Okay, so was there something about the Singapore airline experience you can recall, or just that it was again a part of flying that when it was done right, it was really enjoyable?
Yes, I do recall that. So it was like a personal trip. So I was flying economy, but it was really nice. Like some airlines, their economy class is still nice, humane, comfortable. There's good food. There's good entertainment. The seats are comfortable. And then some airlines, if you're in economy, it's like, you can't wait to get off the plane, and it's literally only to get you from point A to point B, and everything in between is like miserable. Singapore is not that category. Singapore Airlines is really comfortable, even though I was just a regular passenger.
All right. Thanks, Monica, for the recounting.